I now come to Dreamweaver and my Hearts Village website, and I'm going to create the redesign for the website from within the existing website that I've downloaded to my own student space. Now the first thing I'm going to do is lay out the structure within a new style sheet of how I want my template to look. Referring back to Photoshop, we can see the finished design for the template, very scratchy and awful looking, but I actually based it on a wireframe, and the wireframe design is the thing that I'm going to define with my style sheet. I'm going to define the container which holds the whole website, the header area, the navigation, the main content, and the footer. And within that, I'm going to place the elements of my website template. So I come back to Dreamweaver, and at the top I choose CSS style. In fact, I can't see where I can add a new style here, so I might have to actually open a page. With one token page open, I can now create a new style sheet. I'm going to click this tab for a new style sheet. First thing I'm going to define is the HTML tag for the body. And that's a tag, of course. So I'm redefining the body tag. And it's going to be within a new style sheet. So I click OK. A window opens up. Says, what do I want to name my new style sheet? I'm going to keep it within this folder. I'm going to call it New Experiment. I'm within my Hearts Village website, remember, and at this stage I'm just putting some definitions into this new style sheet I'm about to create. So, with the body tag, all I'm going to define is the background color so that I can see what I'm doing, and I'll give that a yucky kind of yellowy green color. And the text, nope, that's all I'll do at this stage. Actually, if I define the base text as being Arial, then I've got a base for everything to fall back to when I'm typing, and I can specialize my website from there. Okay, now with my new style sheet, I'm going to make a few new rules. First rule I'm going to make is going to be an ID tag, because remember, I'm doing the layout at this stage. So I'm going to call the first ID container or wrapper, doesn't really matter. I want it to be within the new experiment style sheet. Press OK, and all I'm concerned with here is I want it to be 950 pixels wide. I think I'm going to make it 550 pixels high. Zero padding, and it's going to be auto margins. Other thing I'm going to do at this stage, I'm going to give it a white background. Okay, so I've got my wrapper defined. Next, I'm going to define my head. It's an ID, remember, because it's only going to apply to that one layout object. I'll call this the header. It's within the new style sheet, and the header is going to be box. It's going to be 950 pixels wide, and it's going to be 110 pixels high. That's all I need to do with that. Next one is the navigation. So again, I click down here with a plus sign. It's a new ID again. It's for the navigation over on the left, so I'll call that navigation. And this one I'm going to define the width as, and at this stage, thinking how wide is that navigation going to be. So if I flick back to Photoshop, it was actually within the wireframe. It's that width there I'm looking at. I want to know that width and that height. And that particular width is 220 pixels. And the height, I don't need to define that, but the height is 413. And I want it to float to the left. I want the navigation to be sitting on the left hand side of the area. I want it to have no padding, no margins. Next one is the main content. Remember, I'm just doing this in order. Looking back here, this is the main content layer that I'm trying to define. Now at this stage, all I'm doing, remember, is I'm making definitions. I haven't even started working on my template yet on the actual page. I'm just making definitions which I will then apply to the template. So it's all a bit techy at this stage. Next one was main content. Also going in the same new sheet. And the main content, I want that to be 728 pixels wide. I've measured this off Photoshop. That's how I know how high I want it to be. And it's 413. And I want this to float to the right. So because I want it to bob up and appear on the right hand side of the screen as opposed to the navigation on the left. Again, I'm putting 0 in here so that no funny browsers will do anything strange to my website layout. And the last one I do is the footer. New ID. Footer. And that has the box. It's 950, and it's only 27 pixels high. And I'll make it float to the left. And again, just to be on the safe side, 0 and 0. Okay, so what I've got at this stage, I'm still looking at my existing website, but I've created a new style sheet and the style sheet is down here. See, it's in the styles folder of files. And that's, at this stage, we haven't made our template. We've just simply created a new style sheet to use on our new template.